Blather number 154 live on a Saturday night. I didn't promote this one. I even have Blue Sky up today. It's just pretty much the only place I promote. That's not working out good for my career. Yeah, I'll do it now. Doesn't matter. Welcome to the show. I'm Cat Knapsack. Live on a Saturday. We got some folks in here already, like Vermont's own Vermont Mike. Matthew Stokes checking in from the UK. Cameron Stewart's here. Don't call him Cam unless he says hello, and you can. Laserbolt's here. I watched Laserbolt fly around Brazil the other night. You should too. Follow Laserbolt videos. Cooper's here. 8984M. Kingsport Cal says Saturday night's all right for fighting. JB checking in from the land of the rising sun out there. Be careful about Mount Fuji. Worried about Mount Fuji for anyone going to Star Wars Celebration. This is the house of the rising sun. That's to a comment in chat. Big show tonight, meaning it's big because I'm hungry and I didn't eat before, and I'm going to eat right after the show. So if you got a call, you get to it. Momentum is the key to broadcasting. Have your question ready to go. Jared the Side Pilot. Ken's got pipes. I wish I could sing. You might have some. We're slowly working on a Moonagers song, Tiller and I. To be fair, I'm the problem. We got a Britpop flavored song ready to go. I just got to get to the lyrics. On the show tonight, 16:30 hours here in the Pacific. 16:30 hours. That's 4:30 my time. Brandon Hanna's going to return to the show, and we're going to talk renewable energies and the myths around them, meaning negative myths around the renewable energy world. And he is going to slide in here and kind of say, no. Though Brandon's got control of the segment. I don't know what he's going to say. Osvetnik says Osvetnik asks, Ethan asks, so what you're saying is I should definitely call in with a question that's food related. You should. You should. David Mackay's got the right idea. Are wind turbines driving whales insane? You know what, David, what I'm going to do? Anytime Brandon says something tonight, I'm just going to go, but that's why the windmills are driving the whales insane, right? We'll just repeat that until he is no longer friends with me. Update, just so we're all on the same page. Next Saturday, most likely won't have a show. I'll probably find a way to move it around and give you the broadcast you deserve, or maybe just take a night off. But I'll be out of the area doing some acting stuff, so that's going to be fun as of right now. Big Lou's here, Big Lou's Workshop. Check out Big Lou's Workshop. You're definitely going to want to do that. Chinese takeout for me tonight. I'm going to preview right here, right now. Big Lou, follow that channel for workshop tips. We're cooking up something. That if you got a question about, hey, how do I do that in my house? My shelf fell down. Big Lou is going to answer your question, and he'll come back on the show and be like, here's the question. I'm going to be honest with you. Jared saying, make that bread. Lesbolt says, sweet gig. Unpaid. I was honored to be asked to a short film. Most of the things in this town, unpaid. Every stand-up gig I do locally, unpaid, unless it's a headlining gig. So there we go. So another thing to talk about before we get into the show, we got some calls that I want to get to. Producer Steve's on the show tonight, and we've got a Blather bracket update, a little sports talk. My Yankees did pretty good today, though the pitcher they did most of it off he's on my fantasy baseball team. So that was not good. That was not good. Not good. Yeah, Big Lou says it right there. DIY tips and tricks coming at you there. JJ Skywalker's here. It's good to have a Skywalker hanging out. I do want to say this as well. Tomorrow, which is Sunday, about 4:30 in the PM on the Pacific. Check your local listings. I will be on Winston A. Marshall's stream Winston is doing a big stream, like a 12-hour stream, like a 10 to 10 stream. And he very generously asked me to stop by. So about 4:30 tomorrow, check out Winston's channel. Give him a sub. I will be on there having fun with that. So Ryan Ridgway checking in on Facebook. Get over there tomorrow, Ryan. Get over there, JJ Walker. Get over there, Big Lou. 8984M, you get over there as well. Yeah, it's Winston's marathon stream, and I'm happy to be part of it there. Happy to be part of it. If you're watching on Twitch, say hello in the comments. If you're watching on Facebook like Ryan is, say hello in the comments as well so I know you're still there. Like I said, what if I just did the whole show as a preview of what's to come on the show and I didn't actually do anything? Coming up on the show, and I did that for an hour. One thing, we do have a asshole alert. That's right. All the sound effects in the world. An asshole alert. I just saw this in the news here. Up in Montana, their governor, Greg Gianforte, signed a law prohibiting transgender people from using bathrooms that do not align with their sex assigned at birth. The law requires public buildings to provide separate spaces for men and women. No unisex bathrooms at all, like a lot of places have. Look, I just would prefer to have outhouses. I'd like to be by myself anyways, all right? But it asserts, this bill asserts there are only two sexes, a male and a female, which, as we know, the White House is trying to make you think as well. And Governor Gianforte stated that the law protects, quote, privacy and security for women and girls. I would love to see Gianforte's stance on all the religious leaders, and you'll throw a dart and hit one soon if it hasn't been in a week, who get arrested for child molestation, sexual assault, the other word that YouTube wants me to wait a little bit to say. So I had nothing more to say on that other than we stand against that. That is none of that is in our purview or our thoughts here. Purview. Just throw a word purview in there. I like throwing fancy words around, apparently. Just wanted to stand against that. Number one, we don't support that, but also, I hadn't paid attention to this asshole till now. So Greg Gianforte, Governor of Montana, asshole alert. Asshole alert. There you go. All right. Let's get to some calls. It's the Matthew Stokes is right. An enclosed toilet with its own door and its sink is unisex. Most airports have that. It's a growing trend. It's everyone get in there. What are you worried about? They're always so worried about it. They're just so worried about it. I'm waiting for I don't think it's true, but you got the Speaker of the House popping up on Grindr, right? I don't think it's that particular story is true. He might be on there, and that's not the problem. Being on Grindr to try to hook up with dudes ain't the problem, Mike Johnson. It's that you just can't live with who you are, so you shut it down, and therefore are obsessed with shutting it down for everyone. That's where we're at. Steve says, "Wait, what? Are you reacting to that story? Are you reacting to that story, Steve? Yeah. The Speaker of the House. Yeah. It was on TikTok, and there was an exchange. I don't believe I don't believe it, but I want to. Again, not because I think there's a problem that Mike Johnson is a gay man or bi-curious or down it. I don't know. I just, it's upsetting that him and many others might have unresolved feelings about who they are. So then they take a hammer to the rest of the world. So there you go. Anka's here checking in, says, "Hey, good people." I remember that channel. All right, let's get to some calls. Let's just get to some tonight's open. I want some new people to call in tonight too. Which when I say that sounds really bad to the people who call in all the time. I want some new jerks. No, I love the calls. I love the nights where we just have a bunch of calls where I have almost too many. Let's get some calls in there. Adam Knight says I should change my Grindr profile. No, keep his face on there for you. We got if you got a call, if you want to get in here, become a channel member. That's the easiest way to do it right here, right now. You get in there, and then the community tab there is a post. You might have scrolled down. I'll do a refresh one soon because I don't know if I can pin it. You'll see the links for the Monday, the Thursday, and the Saturday shows. Or you can be on Patreon, patreon.com/Ken Napzok. We crossed the 100 paid supporter plateau. Usually dips at the end of the month and goes back up, hopefully. But I want to keep building to where I used to be. And the Discord's a little more hopping. Kingsport Cows in the Discord. It's going to get hopping over there. But if you become a supporter on Patreon, you get the call-in links as well. And also you get Pop Rockin' Radio, which I still have to load up tonight. Oh, no. A lot of work for me to do. First caller is all set up. He's ready. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Blather bracket update. Here's the form. If I didn't get a chance to clip out much from, Clip Club is in the Discord, by the way. Check out the episode on Thursday. We unveiled the Blather bracket, doing the 4 regions of movies and the 16 best scenes, paring it down from 64 to 32. We'll have the big update on Monday. But get in there if you haven't vote already. Kingsport Cows locked himself out of the Discord twice. How? I don't even know that's possible. On the shows, Jared the Tide Pilot calling in here. I have no idea what he's going to talk about. Jared, what's your question tonight? Where are you going?
Where do you think we're going? Where do we love to go?
I don't know.
The world of make-believe.
Okay.
Because the world is burning, and I don't like to think about it. So off to Westeros, where things are even fucking worse.
We're going to a skate park, says David McKay, and I agree. Okay, Westeros it is. What do you got? A what if? What do we got? Hit me.
I want an opinion tonight. So I put together 10 of the great houses, and I want you to tell me which one of their words best suits their house as we see them on the show.
Okay. All right. So 10 houses.
I've got them right here with the words for you.
Okay. 10 words. All right. Hit me.
All right. So we got House Baratheon. Ours is the Fury.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We got Greyjoys with We Do Not Sow.
Oh, yeah. I like that one.
Martell with Unbow, Unbent, Unbroken.
It's correct.
Yep. Stark, classic Winter is Coming.
Mm.
The Tullys, Family, Duty, Honor.
Boring.
Tyrell, Growing Strong. The phrase, We Stand Together. Targaryen with the classic Fire and Blood.
I mean, it's kind of the headliner. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bolton, Our Blades Are Sharp. And this one I made sure to have on the list for your boy. House Mormont, Here We Stand. House Mormont, Here We Stand. I mean, I love House Mormont. There's just something that's so stubborn about that one. Here we stand. But I love it when Jorah says it. I think season 1 with the old Viserys. And here I stand. Here I stand. Here I stand. Here I stand. Love that. Okay. These are great. Which one? So what do we do? How do we play? I want to know which one do you think really their house best represents on the show on either HOD or Hot D that we see. Like, does Baratheon live up to ours as the Fury? Does Greyjoy live up to We Do Not Sow, and so forth? And do you have Lannisters down there as well? I didn't, but we can add them with Here We Roar. Yeah, but see, so that one's a good one, but it doesn't work because excuse me. Even as the show addresses or the story addresses, like Lannister always pays their debts is what's considered to be the house words, even though that's not. So that's their branding's off. Hear Me Roar is good, but it should be better. House Baratheon, ours is the Fury, right? That I like that. But I still think the best advertisement is the Greyjoys. I think it's kind of in the description. That's what they are and what we need to know about them. They do not sow. They do not sow. Now the House Martell, there's great truth, historical truth in it. Unbound, unbent, unbroken. It's not as catchy as the others. So those are my leaders in club. Oh, and then Targaryens.
I mean, fire and blood. Now you can take that in a lot of different directions, right? It's both a proclamation and maybe a warning to their own family members, perhaps. But I like that one. What are your favorites? Where do you go? Where do we go?
I definitely agree with the House Greyjoy one. I mean, that's just.
It's not about whether you like. It's not your favorite houses. It's the favorite words, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And with that being said. House Bolton, our blades are sharp. Jesus, that's just nailhead.
yeah, it's nailhead, but it's a try-hard situation there. There's such a petty little insolent house that they just want to puff their chest up to me. They're always looking and they're always scheming in the shadows to me. Roose is just waiting. Roose is just I told Rob things. Whatever. And so that's why I don't like that. It's a little bit too much of a look at me.
That's you're also not wrong, and I do love the how the Tully's family do the honor. The blackfish at the end just completely embodies that. That's ancestral home and everything,
which was frustrating. You want to play a little what if game. I always kind of say to myself. And the outcome wouldn't have changed because the outcome's still good. But I'm always like, if the blackfish had just gone with them and kind of gone and helped his kin elsewhere, like that could have helped some things. He would have been of value going forward. Now, we still get the Duke. We still got the win in the box score at the end of the day over the Night King and over the stuff in the South. But he would have helped. And I love that character. And he does stick to his house words. But I'm always like, dude, just pack up and go. It's over, Commander. Get out there.
Definitely. Like, would he have been a magic ace? No. But, he could have been, instead of having Jaime Lannister leaving that division, have somebody a little more capable with the sword. We love Jaime in that moment, but really, bro, frontline in it.
Frontline. But hey, I love him as well. All right, that's good. So I think my favorite one in the end is Greyjoy's. The Baratheon one doesn't come up a lot. You don't hear that a lot on the show, but they are it. So that works for me. that works for me as well. What's your least favorite one?
Growing strong.
Yeah.
Tyrell's like what?
Even Elena's like, what have we done to ourselves? What have we done to ourselves? They're growing strong doesn't work for me as well. But it's fascinating. I love all the house words, and I love it's part of the lore, and I love that a lot of in the writing, both book and show. I think the words are a North Star if you're looking to write those characters. That's pretty good.
Definitely. Alrighty, Ken. We'll let you get to the other calls.
Yep, we do. We got to go. Are you ready for this? We're going to talk to a Brit next. We don't talk a lot of Brits. Are you ready? Let's boil some tea. Is that how you do it?
Well, up here in Boston, we throw it in the bay, but
that's true. That's where it belongs. All right, Jared the Time Pilot checking in. Thanks, Jared. Love talking Game of Thrones. Anka's leaving. Good night. Good night. No. All right. On the show now, checking in right now, probably well past midnight where he is right now. He is a rock and roll star. He's a co-host of Holy Snokes on the PLD network. He's a good pal of mine. Matty Gunner, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, mate. How are you?
We're hanging in there. And that's all I'm going to ask for today. But I want to know what's on your mind tonight.
To be honest, mate, I was just calling in to say hello and check in, see how things are going. And because I've literally just got in from the studio, I saw you were live, so I thought, why not drop in and talk to my pal Ken?
Great. I love this. Do you do this to the LBC network too? Do you call James O'Brien? Just say hello? I want you to be consistent.
I do text into both James O'Brien and I've also sent some slightly less friendly text to Ian Daly a few times.
Okay. Text, yeah. Okay, good for you. Are you you're going to Star Wars Celebration Japan, correct?
I am, yes. I'm heading to Thailand the week before. Gonna hang out in Thailand for a little bit, and then.
Are you? Hold on. Jared from the punk band, Concepts of Plan, He picked up on your just got in from the studio line, and he's working through it. All right, so you're going to Thailand first. They are, and we say this with seriousness because there was death. Far too many people perished in this. One would be far too many, quite frankly. But a 7.7 earthquake, I think, was the final measurement on the Richter scale. You're seeing all these videos. Doesn't mean an earthquake's going to happen again anytime soon, or it could mean 15 happen anytime soon. And then you got Mount Fuji ready to erupt. Maddie, what are you doing to prepare for these things?
Absolutely nothing, if I'm honest. Because
you're taking a shot and going.
I'm taking a shot and going because if my time is due to come, my time is due to come.
I love that.
I'll be in Japan with a bunch of my good friends.
Yeah,
having the time of my life. If that's how I'm gonna go, that's how I'm gonna go.
I do not want Mount Fuji to erupt at all. I was reading about it yesterday, the levels of the ash level and the evacuation thoughts and everything. But if it goes in a big way, I do want some footage to emerge of you and Alden and anyone, TRB and Scotty, just in a bar, just singing as the wave of lava overtakes you. Can you go out that way?
We can go out that way. We'd go as they say in Shaun of the Dead. We'll just go to a hotel bar and wait for it to all blow over.
Literally. Have you been to these spots before? These are two parts of the world I've not been to, but I hear wonderful things. What's your travels history there?
Thailand, yes, I've been to Thailand before. I've trained in Thailand. Japan, never. Japan, it's my first time. I'm very well aware there is apparently a 7-Eleven on pretty much every street corner. So I7 Holdings is a Japanese company who owns 7-Eleven. And yeah, I know everyone says, for me who loves 7-Eleven, I'll be honest, probably will have a 7-Eleven dinner tonight when I hit the road tonight. Everyone's like, it's the Mecca, you got to go. And that's perhaps one of the biggest regrets of me not being able to go to Celebration this year. I'm going to be completely blunt and honest. Mm-hmm. Celebration is like third or fourth down on my list of things that I care about for this trip.
I agree with you, man. And it's nothing in Celebration.
Nah,
it's 3 days. You're going for how long are you going to be there?
I'm going to be there from the Monday before till the Monday after, so a week, and that's just in Tokyo. I'm definitely. I've spoken to my other half about we want to go back and spend more time there in Osaka, Kyoto, other places. But it's more. I want to see this place that I've never been to. Multiple friends of mine have been there, and they said it's a completely different world. I want to see it with my own eyes. I have a lot of respect and admiration for Japanese history and culture, so I'm probably not going to be taking a lot of photos when I go to these places because I want to take it in and experience it and kind of feel.
And also, you don't want to be like those American tourists that go to very sacred locations in and around Tokyo and Japan and just take inappropriate, tasteless photos. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be like a certain YouTuber that went to a certain forest and started taking a video.
Right. Among others, among many. Okay, that's cool. Are you going to report back to us your findings when you return? And could you do a list of your 5 favorite items you find at that 7-Eleven?
I will do. What I will do is I will text you before I go to 7-Eleven, and I'll be like, give me the 5 best things in 7-Eleven US.
Okay.
I will get the Japanese equivalent, and then we'll do a taste comparison.
Oh, that's okay. I like this idea. I like that. If we can find a way to do this live on a stream while you're there, we got international, worldwide comedy about 7-Eleven. I love that.
I think we could do that.
We love it, Maddie. I got Ethan lined up here. Then I got Brandon Hanna coming on about 4:30 with Renewable Energy Myths. So, final thoughts from.
I'm a big Brandon Hanna fan.
You're a big Brandon Hanna fan. So am I. Your final thoughts. What is one thing you're looking, and we're not there yet. What is the one thing you're looking to get out of Star Wars Celebration? Item, memory, news. What do you got?
Other than hotel bar adventures, seeing Scotty J-Ro's panel. It's number one thing for me.
Scotty J-Ro's panel,
especially after listening to you two have that discussion over on Force Center. I'm really looking forward to Scotty's panel.
It's going to be great. Check that out on Friday. I believe it's Friday, 3 p.m. local time, right?
I think so.
Yeah, check it out, Scotty. I know, I've seen the videos he's done. I've had the great interview on Force Center. Check it on out, everybody. But I even know more what's going on. It's going to be great. You guys are going to have a good time. So, Maddie, check back in and let's talk about that 7-Eleven thing.
Yes, mate. Let's do it.
Matty Gunner from Holy Snokes on the PLD network. Check it out. They're very relaxing, those two together, and occasionally a little nip at each other, a little tick 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 tick. So I just have it on the background, play some video games, and relax to those guys. Even their fights are good. All right, real quick, we're gonna take a call from Ethan, and then about 5 minutes after that, Brandon Hanna's returning to the show, camera ready, and we're going to be doing a nice little discussion that he's going to have here with us about energy, renewable energy myths, and a lot of things. We'll catch up with him for a bit. But welcoming to the show now is our buddy Ethan, Svetnik1138. Ethan, are you going to make me hungry?
Yeah, I guess that's the goal.
Well, good.
No,
I'm
not really.
Starving. And last Saturday night, I made a mistake after this show. Yeah. Hit me. What do you got?
Oh, I was just gonna say, when you're hungry is probably the best time to answer something like this. So
absolutely.
I've been thinking about this week because I've been sick for most of it, and when you're sick, you can't eat all the things you'd like to eat. Mm-hmm. And so I have been thinking about what I would want as my last meal. and so I've come up with like a 5-course meal. And okay. I don't know if you would have time to do that before your next call here. Maybe what I'll do. Yeah. So okay, maybe what I'll do is I'll go through what I've come up with, and maybe you can think of it and answer it later in the show.
Okay. Let me take some notes here. Okay, this is because here's the thing though. I have in the course of my lifetime thought what would be my final meal if I was on death row.
Yeah. Same. Yeah.
Is that a thing? Do people do that in chat? Do you do that? Let us know. Have you spent too many hours wondering what your food items would be the moments before you die? I don't know. All right, so work through with me. What do you got?
Okay, so up first is a burnt end sandwich from Danny Edwards Boulevard barbecue joint in Kansas City.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is specific. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, meat candy on a bun. It is the best sandwich ever.
Sold. Okay, so that's course one.
That's course one. Course two, chicken tacos from a little taco place in Mesa, Arizona called Backyard Taco.
Okay.
It's a place that I really miss since I've moved away from there.
All right. I like this.
And then after that, a Croatian dish called sarma, which is just it's steamed cabbage. It's a cabbage wrap. So it's got like beef, pork, and rice, wrapped in cabbage, and it's delicious.
Okay.
Yeah. And then next, just a 6-ounce filet mignon with cheesy potatoes and asparagus.
Yes.
And then to drink, I do not partake in the alcohol. Okay. So to drink, I have Fitz's brand root beer. It's a bottling company out of St. Louis.
I've seen the Fitz's, yes.
Yep, it's very good. And then for dessert, I have lemon and raspberry gelato.
Going with gelato, lemon, raspberry. This is raspberry. I'm writing this down. This is a great list. I also love that you have specific items that helps me choose a little bit of like what would I want specifically here. So that's a wonderful list. No questions in this. Now, I support anyone who doesn't drink for whatever the reason. But my one question to you, Ethan, it's not a pushback, it's a question. If you're going to be marched down death row dead man walking, is that the time maybe a shot of whiskey is apropos, or is it you just like I'm taking this over the finish line?
I've gotten this far.
I've gotten this far. Asked and answered. I respect it. Laserbolt says it's a solid list. So that is it. All right, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to make my list here by the end of the night. I'm going to have my 5-course meal with a little extra, maybe dessert or drink. This is wonderful. Us Fat Nick, here's the good thing. You and I are not going to end up on death row.
No.
We don't have to worry about this.
No. So anyway, yeah, very cool. Thank you very much, Ken. All right. Looking forward to the next call.
Yes, great next call coming in here. Great segment on your way, but I'm going to come out and see what a burnt end sandwich. But again, I didn't write down the specific spots. The chicken tacos. This is getting me thinking about the things that I like from the restaurants I like. The filet mignon, but with this cheesy potatoes, the sides. The root beer is a great choice. I didn't think about the beverage because I might just go to a drink. Especially if, like, I don't know the timing of this. I don't know if they feed you dap your face down with a napkin, burp and walk on out. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Maybe you all in chat could let me know. But I might want to do the shot on the way out. We'll see. Okay, I don't know. There we go. Cameron Stewart says, I don't know, Cameron, how the winds are blowing. Some of the stuff you say at any time. Yeah, you're right. That's true. Maybe Alden and I will start thinking about our final meal in a better way. All right. Camera ready we are. We are welcoming back to the show our buddy Brandon Hanna, who looks great, my friend. I know you had some, we don't need to go into it. You had some other plans set today. I was looking forward to having you on location, but also it's such a beautiful spot you were going to go to. I'm sorry you didn't get to go there today. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. Maybe one day I'll be able to shoot from location. I could be like a field correspondent,
We had Scotty in a Costco last week, which fantastic. I would love this. And for those of you who don't know, who do call into the show, StreamYard has an app. So they have an app, and it makes it easier to call in if you're on the go. I think that's what Scotty used. But anyways, good to have you back here. As Matty Gunner says, love this guy. And I do as well. You've been living your life last few days, a few weeks, but good to have you back, my friend. What's on the docket today?
Good to be back. Yeah, Ken. I wanted to come on, and I had this idea to talk about renewable energy myths. I think particularly how it pertains to our energy infrastructure. This has been a thought that I've had for years. There's this show that was on Netflix back in 2017, Bill Nye Saves the World. I don't know if you've ever seen it. But there was the very first episode was all about renewable energies, and they had some great panelists on, talking about, what does it take to change our energy infrastructure? And is this something that's realistic? I think it's a very common myth amongst climate change deniers and people who prefer to continue consuming and burning fossil fuels, that it's not realistic. I mean, the wind doesn't always blow, or the sun's not always out. What are we to do when that happens, Ken? We can't rely on that, but
the windmills are freezing. They're freezing in place. So, or I just in my own life, and I'll let you slide on, but like I do hear a lot of like, wow, the infrastructure. And that's the end of their conversation on it.
Yeah, they had a great on that show. They had a professor on renewable energies from Stanford talking about we've actually, as civil engineers, them, not me. I'm a mechanical engineer, but respect what they do. They did the math, they crunched the numbers, and they said we can do this. We have the technology today to power the entire nation, the entire world on renewable energies. And the main barriers are social and political. But they've done the math, and they can keep the power, churning out. And, I kind of wanted to talk about that. Like, okay, so what happens when the wind doesn't blow, or when when it's a cloudy day? And obviously there are batteries, and people talk about, the dangers and environmental impact of lithium mining, which is, I think, very, something to be cognizant of for sure and aware of. But I think when the alternative is pumping fossil fuels and carbon dioxide into the atmosphere nonstop, causing climate change and global warming, I think that is the lesser of two evils. But there are other options, Ken, believe it or not. I think there are a lot of creative engineering solutions that people don't think about. For instance, if you have because there are times where you're going to have an abundance of energy. You're going to have the wind's going to be blowing so hard, you're going to have more energy than you know what to do with.
So hard.
Yeah, it's going to be an extra sunny day.
That wind,
the solar panels are going to be working overtime, and you're going to say, "What am I going to do with all this power?" And like you can use it to one creative solution is basically hydroelectric storage. You know how like a hydroelectric dam works? The water flows through, spins a turbine. Same idea. If you take your excess energy and use it to power a water pump that pumps water up a hill, you could store that energy in the way of a body of water. And then when you don't have an energy surplus and you need more energy, you can let the water flow through the dam. Boom, hydroelectric power kind of carries you through those moments when maybe the wind's not blowing as much. And you could also store this power in the form of heat. I think a lot of people, when they think of solar energy, they think of what is like a photovoltaic cell, which is like the type of solar panels you'd put on your roof and things of that nature.
Could you say that name again, but slower and with an accent?
With an accent?
Okay.
No,
Just slower.
I was gonna try to talk like Maddie, but I can't replicate that charm. Photovoltaic cells, which basically, is more of a, I don't know if I want to say a chemical, but there is some stuff going on a very tiny level that allows power to be generated that way. But you could also use solar to heat up water towers that create steam and spin a turbine the same way a coal power plant or like an oil power, like anything. How we typically generate energy is typically by steam, and you burn the coal and it creates heat and so on. You could do the same thing with the sun because the sun, Ken, is very hot.
Very hot. Very hot.
And you can concentrate its solar rays on a specific tower or through pipes to generate heat, generate steam, and you can store that energy in the form of that heat. And so you can save it for later and then basically open up the floodgates again in a different way, let that hot water pass through a turbine, essentially. So there are a lot of inventive ways, and there's other really creative ways too to store energy. But it's not all just batteries. There's so many different creative solutions that we can do. And speaking of batteries,
yes, a gonk droids, yes.
Sorry, I'm just like on a roll right now. It's just
I love it. This is what I want. I got some dumb questions building.
Sure,
but I want you to get through this here.
I'll be happy to answer them. No, it just came to my mind. Speaking of Bill Nye, he wrote a great book years back. I think it was called "Unstoppable: Harnessing Power, Science to Change the World." And he had a section in there about energy storage and talking about our energy infrastructure. And if, let's say, everyone had electric cars, and whenever you park anywhere, whether it be at your home or at like a public, area, at work, at the grocery store, your car gets hooked up to the grid. And in moments where there's an energy surplus, that extra power just goes right into people's cars. And it just like sends you a bill, for however much energy is getting put in. And so it's kind of like a two birds with one stone type of idea, where your car is charged and ready to go. And that's where that energy surplus is going. So a lot of fun ideas like that so it's like, I think people don't typically think of.
It's like when you're parking, when I go park in downtown Burbank now, and they're charging on the street money. I go put in my car, and maybe I also plug in, and you settle up right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Any other big ticket items there? Any other things before I get some dumb questions?
I've got a few more thoughts, Ken, but I don't know if I want to like let the questions pile up or maybe just cut away at a few of them now.
Okay. This is with these, you got these things that the steam, right? You talk about put the solar panels on the steam. Is it possible? Do these things send steam out? Like, do you get to see visually steam come out of anything? Because I have an idea.
Yes, I believe so. I think typically what people associate with like cooling towers from nuclear power plants.
Right.
Basically nuclear also works the same way. You basically have a radioactive rock that is just decaying and generating a ton of heat, and you use it to heat up some water and use the steam to spin a turbine. It's all different flavors of the same technology that we use.
So my thought is on these solar panel powered steam devices, can we somehow colorize the steam so that it shoots what looks like black smoke into the air, so that all the fossil fuel people will feel satisfied? That they'll see, look at that. That is energy at work. Because I think part of the issue, you talked about the social obstacle, and then there's the money obstacle, there's the big oil, there's anything you want to go down that path. But when you that doesn't factor into the daily conversations they have, where I think people are just afraid of upsetting the norms. This is what we've known, and so it's easy to hide behind the known and be afraid of the unknown when it comes to even renewable energies, which is like I love having this conversation about even solar panel stuff. You know, I still have an antiquated view of it probably, where I'm like, I don't know, on a cloudy day, can I not power my microwave? You know, and it's like, it's good to have someone like you go, no, here's the answers. So all that stupid comment to say of like, I think that's one of the great fears. It's just the fear of the unknown for the normal people just getting through their day.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of that comes into play, particularly with like electric vehicles. You know, people like getting into their car and turning the ignition and hearing that engine, you know, rev and, you know, they,
muscle cars. And they're sexy.
Yeah. Like I was talking to my coworker the other day. He has an electric car. He says he just gets in and just hits the pedal and it goes. He doesn't have to turn it on or off or anything.
And this is why I'm saying, even in electric cars, what if you were to get into a Prius? What if you were to get into a Prius and when you press the on button, you just hear, so you feel it. It's like when I started eating vegan food. Sometimes I just had to the taste had to get to a point where I'm like, my brain is like convinced this is a chicken wing, and the rest was gravy, maybe literally.
Yeah, no, definitely. So yeah, I think that is like a little bit of a hurdle, but I think we just gotta like try it, and maybe that's like the social aspect of the challenge of. I think so. Switching over.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's kind of my dumb comments for now. The final thing that we built to, and I want to hear more from you, is just like, you know, is the reality here? You talked about we could do this, but there's a lot to it. Is you know, do you have to go build some of these dams, fix dams, add solar panels? Like what needs to happen? And that's a bigger question that I'm not expecting even a full answer from you on today, but that's my final thought. But anyways, you have more thoughts on renewable energy and the myths around it.
Yeah, Ken. You know, the technology, it does exist to change our energy infrastructure. It's not like it's like, oh, if only the technology were around. It's like George Lucas waiting to make the prequels. He's like, oh, I want to do the prequels, but the technology doesn't exist yet. The technology is here. There's just a lot of like social and political aspects and, you know, some hurdles and hoops to jump through and over. But you know, I wanted to talk to you about, you know, we're both fans of Climate Town on YouTube here. And the last episode that came out, I believe, you know, Raleigh talked about that new Taylor Sheridan show, Landman.
Oh, that was a great episode. Yes.
Yeah.
Landman with Billy Bob Thornton.
I highly recommend watching that. But, you know, there was a whole, I don't know if I call it like a monologue or a political message talking about why wind turbines aren't so great and how, well, they still use fossil fuels to manufacture and transport the parts and the assembly, and they use oil for lubrication. And I think all those things are fair points when they're not used, you know, with ill intent, you know. When you're trying to have like an honest conversation. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's when you're talking about using oil as a lubricant versus burning it 24/7 and pumping carbon into the atmosphere.
Right.
I think I know it's pretty clear which one I would pick. And even if you have to use some carbon to transport or burn fossil fuels to manufacture it, you know, then this is something that I touched on in the episode, is that we have very easy ways of calculating the carbon offset, saying, okay, it's gonna, you know, leave a carbon footprint of, you know, X to fabricate, install, and run
track it
a wind turbine. But after 6 months of use, it offsets itself, and then we're going into the negatives where it's all, you know, it's all green from there. It's like we're doing good.
Well, yeah, exactly. This is, and I like what you said there. And again, Brandon and I always recommend you guys check out Climate Town. It is a great YouTube channel. Videos are not out regularly because they have to put them all together, and it's a lot of hard work. But check them out; they're very important. But these type of like questions, or hey, this is a concern, that's never a bad thing, because you get the answers. You do get the answers, or we find the answers, or we go, okay, yeah, you're right, we'll figure it out. And that's part of my frustration when talking about the climate change and possible solutions, going to even our jokes here of a car that goes boom, of just like, there's too much of, well, you know, why try? Even if that oil, using that oil as a lubricant, even if that is somewhat of a bad thing, well, then why try? Let's just keep burning things. And that's part of my frustration. That's why I like having these conversations, even though I'm a layman when it comes to this kind of stuff. I love finding the solutions and hearing that there's a push towards hope if we want it.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I see so many people kind of push this misinformation about like, well, this also uses oil, so it's just as bad, or, you know, lithium mines are bad, so what's the point of trying to do something better? Right. And I think those are like nuanced conversations to have in good faith. But when they become bad faith arguments, it becomes very problematic. And, you know, as an engineer myself, I can say that from an engineering point of view, we have the technology today to run 100% on renewable energies. And whatever roadblocks there may be to get to that point, they're not engineering ones. They're not mathematical or science ones. I don't know, maybe economics. To a certain degree, but and you know, you might have to dig into your pockets a little deeper to as a society to get it done. But it's not an unreasonable amount. A lot of people smarter than me have done the math and said, yeah, we can do this, but we got to get everybody on board. And nuclear is great too, by the way. I just want to point that out.
I was going to put you on the spot. And say or ask, are you pro nuclear? Because that is, you know, growing up as I did in the nuclear age and living next to Diablo Canyon power plant and doing my nuke drills, and then Chernobyl, where my grandmother's sister lived. Everything happens. You know, I understood that at some point there might have been maybe not so much, but I love seeing the pushback to at least a better understanding of what it could be or what it is.
Yeah, nuclear is actually very safe. I know Kyle Hill also on YouTube does a lot of videos talking about nuclear power and what it entails and how safe versus unsafe it may be. And he's done multiple trips to Chernobyl. And yeah, there's obviously been incidents like that that have been caused by, you know, human error one way or the other. But overall, like, the storing of nuclear waste is very safe. You could stand right next to the concrete canisters that the waste is in, and you're safer there than you are, you know, standing next to your microwave. You know, it's like, and you're safe there too, by the way. I'm not trying to say that's bad.
But see, my first family microwave was like 1982 or 83. I remember the day my dad warmed up bread and showed us the future. And that was the thing of get away from it. And who knows, in 1983, maybe we should have, but now not so much.
Yeah. So, you know, and nuclear, you know, it has its drawbacks. Like I said, like human error.
Sure.
That's someone flips a switch they're not supposed to, or something bad happens, or I see... I just saw a comment here. I forgot who posted it. They're talking about like natural disasters. We've seen that be a problem as well.
8984.
Yeah, 100% valid points. But you know, overall, when done correctly, it's very safe. And don't believe The Dark Knight Rises. You cannot make a bomb out of it. As much as I love that movie, you're perfectly safe. It's just a hot rock at the end of the day.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
you telling me the movies might make things up. You're breaking my heart here.
Yeah.
Final big points, Brandon. How do you take this message, and how do you take it out to the world? Other than hopefully coming on shows, or hopefully people will be following your channel, Film Physics, and all the fun things you talk about there. But how do you, when you're at a party and this comes up, how do you approach it?
Let's see. Typically, I immediately am the buzzkill to that party if I'm at it talking about renewable energy. But yeah, it's hard, right? You try to have these conversations, and you try to do your research, and I don't work in renewables or energy, but I've had a formal education on it. I took an energy conversion systems course in college that I really enjoyed, and so I have an engineering mind. I can sift out if something is bullshit or not, right? So so it's like, I don't know. It's just hard. It's just trying to get people to listen is tough, right? Because
that's
even when the information comes from a credible engineer or scientist or politician, it often falls on deaf ears. So I don't know. I think it's just important to kind of like have these conversations. And just be a
chat about it. And I've been at parties with you. I've never seen you be a downer on this stuff. So you're in a good spot. You're a good spot.
Okay.
You're a good spot.
Thank you. Yeah.
Having the conversations, plug it in, and getting the actual information. It works. That's again why I love Climate Town. When Climate Town looks at something, it is from all angles and addresses a lot of things. I mean, I always go to their expose on recycling because that can be a downer. But as Raleigh says in the end, hey, even 10% of recycling, if that works, it's still a good thing to do it. So that's part of the conversation.
Definitely. And I think, like you said, Ken, they approach it, very balanced from all angles. I think I'm a little too hard in the paint sometimes about this stuff. And
you can get defensive. It could be because it's, especially, but I don't have the knowledge you have on this. I don't have the full brain power experiences. So it's like if I'm out in the world and I say to a family member, I don't know, maybe my next car I'll at least get a hybrid. Well, we're gonna ruin we can't the infrastructure. I don't have all the numbers in front of me. I don't have all the mindset, the mind I should say that you and others have. So that's why it's valuable to have you at parties, number one, and in the conversations.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, climate change, very nuanced, from all angles, because even that most recent episode about Landman, there were moments where I was like, "Come on, Raleigh, get him, go harder after Taylor Sheridan and his writing," and he continued to just be like, "Well, some of these points are fair, but here's how we can elaborate on them and extend that conversation further." And when you do that, you find out some of this stuff isn't actually so bad. Carbon offset, after 6, 8, 12 months in operation, this windmill is, doing a lot more good than it did harm to make it, and things like that. And that's the kind of stuff that we have to look at, the big picture.
The big picture. And Brandon's got the big picture, man. Brandon, thank you for calling in today and doing this. As always, I want you all, now the channel's probably got more subs, but that's his YouTube channel, Brandon Hanna, right there. Just look up that or search Film Physics and give the guy a follow. Give the guy a sub, okay? Because he's spreading the good word. Thank you, Brandon. We'll do this again soon. Yes, definitely. Okay.
Sorry it took me so long to come back on, but thank you for having me.
No.
I hope anything I said made some sort of sense. I know I'm not an expert. I'm just very passionate about this topic. So just trying to maybe share that passion with the world and help things out a little bit.
Look, Blazerwalt says good or great talk, not just good, great talk.
Oh wow.
Steve says good stuff. You're on the board. Yeah. We did have a follow-up. We did have one question.
Sure.
Final question here. Jared the Your stance on Pluto. Your stance on Pluto, not a planet. You're a non-Pluto planet guy.
Yes, I am big on. It's too small. It's just too small to be a planet. I know we all grew up on it.
It's a hovel. Okay. Yeah, we did. I grew up on it. It was big when that went away.
Planet. It's a dwarf planet. I think that's a good. It still has the name word planet in it. Because you look at like Ceres in the asteroid belt. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I meant to look this up before the show. I'm pretty sure that Ceres, also a dwarf planet, is larger than Pluto. So if Ceres is not a planet, then how could you make Pluto? You can make them both a planet, or none of them are planets.
That's right. Or the other way is Pluto's a planet, so Ceres, and then we add to the list there. We add to the flag, so to speak. All right, there you go. That hot Pluto takes. I like it. I do like that you have the idea of like we just have to accept that it's not a planet. But Tully's in here says Viva la Pluto. Laserbolt says Pluto is a Plutoid. So there you go. We're hot debates. Pineapple on pizza and is Pluto a planet?
I'm
Brandon,
also pro pineapple on pizza.
Well, that's why we're friends. That's the number one reason we're friends. Brandon, thanks for checking in. We'll do it again soon. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right, see you. Brandon Hannon checking in, everybody. Give him a follow over on his channel. Even if you think Pluto's a planet, our buddy Brandon T. McClure, hey, he changed that username. I've subscribed, which reminds me, as always, going to pump up some folks here as well. Brandon's got a great Substack. Subscribe to Brandon Hanna and also subscribe to Brandon McClure on Substack, btmcclure.substack.com for entertainment news and opinions support. Someone doing the good work out there. And as always, my buddy Scott, if you need meditation, he's got a great podcast out there, Blue Star Meditation, for all your meditation needs on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your spodcasts. For your podcast, check it out there as well. Coming up, producer Steve, check it in here. I got a super blather I'm going to answer right now. I've got to answer my food question as well. I might have Steve work through his list as well. 8984M going to be calling in here as well. If you want to call in the show, become a YouTube channel member or a Patreon support at patreon.com/KnapSack. Have a question? Get to it. Brandon says he's got some cool new stuff up on his Substack this week, including an Indiana Jones piece. Oh, my. All right, check that out. Please do check that out. Super chat, super thanks from Matthew Stokes, a cheers, and a cheers as well. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate that. Malcolm checking in as he does Montero. Malcolm Montero. Hey, Ken, hope things are looking up for you. Hey, it's all right. I'm interested to know what nonfiction books you've enjoyed over the years. You strike me as a McCullough fan. Yes, I am. I'm a David McCullough fan. Yes, so I made some notes. I do really like David McCullough's book on Teddy Roosevelt, which kind of covers his younger years. It's not necessarily about the president and beyond. It's about that. So that also, there was a book. God, I just checked that out. A book on the 1912 election. I just finished reading that last year. It's great. Check that as well. I just thought of another one there. All right. I'm making notes. Malcolm, I'm trying to answer your question. I'm gonna forget. All right. So nonfiction books. There is the out of print book about Saturday Night Live. That is called Saturday Night. I think it's just called Saturday Night. Yes, it is. Here it is. Saturday Night, a backstage history of Saturday Night Live by Doug Hill, Jeff Weingred. It's usually out of print. You can get it right now. Looks like maybe they put some other versions out. Ooh, that's fascinating to me. Oh, there's a newer version out there. Okay. If you're a fan of Saturday Night Live, but you're also just a fan of comedy and just the history of performers and the stresses they're under, I highly recommend Saturday Night. But generally about the first 5 years of Saturday Night Live. The other one I enjoy is Public Enemies by Brian Burrows. This was turned into the movie with Marion Cotillard and Johnny Depp, which I do like that movie a lot, actually. But the book Public Enemies is fantastic. It is about crime in America, the formation of the FBI, all the stuff, 1933, 1934. Fascinating book. It reads like a movie. I can see why they optioned it. Love that. Then we got The Storm is Here. I really enjoyed that book. I've spoken about it before. A great book that covers the COVID protests, the people who were fighting the masks and all that stuff. It's called The Storm is Here, an American Crucible by Luke Mogelson. who was a U.S.-born, France-living wartime journalist over there in the Middle East, and he sees what's happening back in America. And he sees a lot of them are kind of the people he met and knew and loved while covering the military, and he saw something was amiss. He goes back, starts the chase, I think up in Detroit or Michigan area of some of the big COVID protests, the lockdown protests, and that leads directly to the steps of the Capitol building January 6th. Luke Mogelson, his cell phone footage was some of the first footage that got sent around the world. He was there covering the story. So check out The Storm is Here, an American Crucible. It's a scary read, but a good read. And then if you want a little sports, The Bad Guys Won by Jeff Pearlman, the story of the 1986 Mets. So those are some of my books there. Tully Quinn wants me to read Gangsters of Capitalism by Jonathan Katz, one of the best independent journalists working today. Definitely sounds interesting there. I put it to my list. I also got a book that I started and I got busy and I haven't finished. It is it's basically how 9/11, post 9/11 world set up the Trump world we live in now, which I started, got a chapter in, and then life just kind of went awry, and it's been sitting on my shelf about a year. So Malcolm, great question there. Right now, before we get to producer Steve with a Blather bracket update, he's got some hot book takes. Maybe he's got a Pluto take. He's probably got a lot. I'm going to bring on 8984M and see if he's celebrated any more Dodger victories or what's on his mind. 8984M, Brady, how are you doing, my friend?
Hello. Yes, I needed that Dodgers victory last night. I had a that was a good one, especially after
the Mookie Betts homer. Yes.
The Mookie Betts walk off. That was the day after the Bulls hit a half-court game winner, and I literally cannot sleep after that one. So I needed this one.
You needed it. Okay, I love when sports gives you what you need. I'm checking my fantasy baseball team today. Nestor Cortez definitely hurt us there. But that's what's on my mind. What is on your mind, my friend?
Well, a lot of sports. How about those Yankees,
It hurt, man. I tell you, it was fantasy baseball. Kingsport Cal, thanks for the super chat. Fantasy baseball does weird things to you. When you've got your starting pitcher, who you paid a lot of money for at an auction draft, Nestor Cortez, pitching against the Yanks, your favorite team, and history happens, but not in the good way for your fantasy team. It tears your soul apart, Brady. I don't know if have you experienced that pain?
I'm trying to think. I don't do fantasy, so I don't think so in terms of sports.
What?
Oh, wait. In terms of wait, when you're rooting for like seeding, right?
Uh-huh.
And then so you need I think was it last season you needed the Celtics to lose, or you need the Celtics to win against the team.
Yeah. So you're rooting for a team you hate. Yeah.
Yeah. It's something like that.
Yeah.
And then of course the Celtics, win anyway. And so now you're just upset regardless.
What is the biggest moment of sports pain you've felt, Brady?
Pain. Well, in recency, there's that Bulls game. I think in chat someone posted about the White House visit that I'm going to be disappointed in a couple.
Oh, the Dodgers of the White House. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I saw somewhere that the Eagles also some of them are going to. So.
Oh, they are, because at first they said no. Now, okay.
I think some of them.
I mean, look, baseball itself is a very conservative sport, so not surprised that half the team
there's
would be going anyways.
Pitcher on the Dodgers we call him the Q man for a reason.
Which one? Which guy?
Trinan.
Oh, Blake Trinan is a QAnon guy?
Yeah, he's like the most conservative. So he was nasty, but also like
he's a great pitcher.
He's a great pitcher.
A lot of them are. I mean, but it's just the culture. It's it's something else, man. Okay. Well, good to know that. I won't include him on any fantasy teams. All right. So, but Brady, and I know you're younger, but what is that one time where you just can't get over it? The Lakers let you down, or some historic moment you watch. I want to know your sports pain.
Okay, in recency, last year the Celtics win. In the same playoffs, the Lakers go down. They almost get basically a gentleman's sweep.
Mm-hmm.
And the coach basically, the coach was awful the entire year, and we had lost against that team like 13 games in a row, and we never adjust the game plan. In the same postseason, the Celtics win. That was very painful.
Okay, so that, but that's a series, but that's not so much. Okay, no, this is good. I just want to know. I want to know that moment. To me, the Miami Dolphins, there was a playoff game in about 91, 92. San Diego Chargers beat us on a field goal. And it's just like, as the kick was going in and I was listening on the radio, everything, my heart sank and my everything hurt. It hurt physically. That's what I'm looking for. But what you're talking about is valid.
That was painful. I wasn't gonna watch the finals. Because I don't want to watch the Celtics, right? No, I check the box score, and every game they get blown out. The Mavericks. I mean, Luke is on the Lakers now, but yeah, the Mavericks get blown out every game. I was just like, oh man.
What's also fascinating is I'm waiting for you to not have a moment that happens to you that you don't get out of bed for a week. That's what I'm waiting for.
Well, that Bulls ending. I don't know if you've seen it. They were down 5 points with 10 seconds to go, and they score 9 points in 10 seconds basically, and they hit a half-court game winner. They were down. They hit a half-court game winner, which is I think that's harder. This is a hot take. I think that's harder than a Hail Mary, to be honest. Like, it's a half-court, a game winner, and I could not sleep that night.
Okay, you get it. Look, I'm not. You're answering correctly, by the way. I'm not saying you're answering this. You've experienced the pain. Tully, interesting enough, says Cleveland versus Seattle Mariners World Series. Just a kid destroyed me. The Cleveland beat Seattle to get to the World Series in '95. Tully, and a week prior was one of my most painful, perhaps the most painful moment. Was the Edgar Martinez doubled down the line to knock the Yankees and Don Mattingly out of the playoffs in 1995. I threw a cup through a window. I cried. I changed my habits after that. That was devastation. That was devastation. So there you go. All right, Brady. I want you to know I'm not rooting for you to have pain. I just am fascinated by this.
Yeah. Also, I was about to have a moment right now. I think Cal said "Rip Magic Johnson." I was looking that up this time.
What did you do that for, Kyle? I saw you do that, Cal.
Scared me.
Get out of here, Cal.
I was about to have a heartbreak moment again.
Yeah.
Heartbreak. Oh, speaking of like sports deaths, I think when Kobe died, that was. Yeah. I was driving to LA. I saw the fog that day, and I was thinking, I hope no one's flying today.
It was a bad one.
When I saw that one, that was shocking to me.
Kingsport Cal says sorry. He's apologized. Okay, we're okay with that. Brady, I'm gonna get to some sports and more with producer Steve, but thank you for calling in, and I also want you to experience some sports joy. Okay.
Yeah. Wait, sports pain or sports joy?
Sports joy. I want you to have some joy. And when you and I finally go get Chinese food together, we'll talk about our favorite sports joys. Okay.
Yeah. You know what? I believe the Lakers are gonna win number 18 above the Celtics.
Okay.
I hope they didn't.
Manifest. All right. Thank you, Dan, for thanks for calling in the show.
And thank you.
All right. Wonderful stuff there. You guys had some great sports pain memories there. The Raiders in Super Bowl, says JMB. Cal. Cal's talking about the watching. That was the fall of Tiger Woods. How do you bleep that up? Yeah, that was something there too. I wasn't a huge golf guy, but yeah. And the Big Lou says the choke and doke hurt really bad. Big Lou, are you just talking about a time you nearly choked on a chicken bone? I'm not sure what that one is. I'm not going to happen. All right. And then we got to make it. Jared the Tide Pilot says not going to happen, Brady, talking about the Celtics and Lakers and the Lakers winning in the finals. But maybe we got to do a bet. If the Lakers and Celtics, producer Steve, take a note here. If the Lakers and Celtics get into the finals this year, we're going to have to do something with Ty Pilot and Brady. We're going to have to put them together and make something happen. All right, let's do this now. Get the cameras fired up here. We got sports and more with producer Steve. Check it in. How you doing, buddy? Lot to get to.
Yeah, we do got a lot to get to. Thank you so much for having me, as always. I just wrote that down. Lakers v Celtics. Yeah, we'll see if they get to the finals or whoever gets in the whoever goes further in the playoffs, something like that.
Yeah, for that could be a good bet. And then if it gets to I would love for this broadcast if it gets to Lakers Celtics in the finals, we could pit Jared and Brady against each other and have some kind of great morning radio bet where one of them sleeps on a billboard if they lose or something like that. I don't know.
I totally get why ESPN talks about the Cowboys and LeBron all the time now, because it's good for them. So we get it now. So now we're rooting for the Celtics and the Lakers. All right.
I got an answer. You probably knew about the choke and Doak, but I did not know. The Gators blew a 4-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter at Doak Campbell Stadium to lose to the Knolls back in '95. Okay. I do remember.
Oh, that was that long ago. That was 95. I thought that was Winky, so I thought that was even further. Okay. Man, that was
after
even further
school sports. I don't remember.
Yeah,
okay.
that is after school sports. But I did have a couple of notes just so quickly. I just wanted to share my sports pain. I was going to put it in the chat, but I was like, you know what? I'm here. I might as well just share. So other than the 2 Eagles Super Bowl losses, because those are just those are obvious. I couldn't watch sports for like a week after the Chiefs lost.
A whole week.
That was
a whole week.
Hey man, like I watch a lot of sports.
Try being a Dolphin fan, okay?
Yeah, that's fair. But the NFC Championship game, the Eagles played against the Cardinals, and I think it was 2009 or 2008. Okay. It was the year that the Cardinals and the Steelers played in the Super Bowl. And
I remember that one well. Yep, remember that.
The Eagles should have beaten the damn Cardinals in the NFC Championship game that year. Whoever's an Eagles fan, the guy's going to agree with me. Larry Fitzgerald just whooped our ass that day.
Yeah, and Warner, right?
Yes, and Donovan McNabb and the Eagles would have beaten that sorry ass Steelers team. So
I was with a very combustible Steeler fan roommate, and we had a big Super Bowl party, and something went wrong in the game, and he threw a tennis ball against the wall, and it shot and it like hit one of our guests in the head. It was a thing. It was a time. Don't be roommates with Steeler fans. All right, those are some good general pain. That's a good pain.
Yeah. And then the other one that just wasn't football was the Reds. And the last time the Reds were in maybe it wasn't the last time they were in the playoffs, but it might have been. They got no hit by the Phillies and Roy Halladay.
That was against the Reds, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The late great Roy Halladay. Okay. Yeah.
That's rough. Getting no hit in the playoffs, that hurts, man. Especially since the Reds sucked for a long time and were never in the playoff. Like they've been in the playoffs like a few times in the last 30 years. It's been 95 was the last time they won a playoff series. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Jambi says, hear that, Mrs. McCouga. Oh, she does. She wishes she wasn't a roommate with a Steeler fan. So no, those are good pain points there, which is part of the fun of sports. I don't know. Sometimes it hurts so good, and we just we like living with it. Now, you talking about the Super Bowl victories definitely affected losses. Excuse me, the Super Bowl defeats affected you as an Eagles fan, but is there a little bit more pain? Is there any consolidation of getting to the big game, or losing in the championship game? Is it a special breed of pain?
No, I would rather lose in the Super Bowl just because you do get some credit for going, and everyone talks about your team for 2 weeks leading up to it, and you're on all the balloons in the grocery store, and there's something about getting there, and you do get a decent shirt, like NFC Championship game shirt. That's a good yard work shirt.
It's a good, okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
okay.
I'd rather go to the Super Bowl.
All right, where are we going, Steve? Where you want to?
Yeah,
take
so I had two quick questions before we talk about the bracket here. Speaking of dinners, you said you're going to 7-Eleven later. Don't feel bad. I had fajita leftovers over the sink, so that was my dinner.
Oh, okay. So the fajita leftovers aren't the problem. It's the sink thing that pushes it towards Patheticville. But I like that comfort. I eat bags of cheese over the sink. It's a good thing.
Yeah, over the sink is a special kind of meal location. When you've done it, you know what it's all about. For me, it's just I have a 20-month-old, and sometimes I don't get to just sit down and eat dinner very nicely all the time, especially on Saturdays when
you know what. Quick food delivery story. I delivered last night, and the first order came across from a great Mexican restaurant in town, Tacoya, which I think is a chain that some people might have. But on the order, it said, "Please do not knock or ring the doorbell. We have a baby that is sleeping." And I followed directions, but I just thought, these people are like, a meal, and then our kid's asleep, and we get a little time together, and they tip nicely because they followed the instructions. So I feel you, Steve. Thank
you. I appreciate that.
What else is on your mind there?
Quick book take. This is a very fast book take.
Book takes, yes.
And we might have done this before, so if we have, just move. We'll move on. Audiobooks. If I listen to the audio, I know this is cliche, but if I listen to the audiobook, did I read the book? Like, can I say I read the book?
Yeah, I think it counts. I think it's new technology. I think it's good to go. I think it's a different experience. It's not one I can do, and I don't enjoy audiobooks. That's as Jared the Tide Pilot will probably scream in chat. That's the ADHD kicking in, where I just 2 sentences in, I'm thinking about other things, and I do that with the book too. But I can control it.
So in casual conversation, if I listen to the audiobook and people are talking about having read the book and I feel slightly ashamed about saying, oh, I did the audiobook, you all read the book, can I just say I read the book and just kind of get away with it? Or what do you think? What do I do there?
Look, you don't have to tell the truth. No one has to know.
Okay.
No one has to know.
All right.
Oh, did you read Greg Gatsby? Oh, yeah, I did. End of conversation. And you can talk about it as long as you can still talk about it.
Yeah, I can bullshit my way out of a paper
now,
bag.
If they're like, but on page 32, right? And you're like, oh, yeah.
Different pages, you can, I can, we can, there's excuses for things. Okay, but good to know. All right, so I'm rolling with that then.
You're good. You're good.
The audiobook, and I read it. Okay.
Cool. Good stuff.
Get over it.
Good stuff. All right, where are we going next?
Bracket. Let's talk bracket.
Bracket update. Here we go. How are we looking?
Let me see if I saw it on my clipboard here, and I'll throw it in. Nope, that's totally not it. But I'll throw the copy link here. I'm just going to grab it and I'll put it in the chat. So anyone who's not done it yet, please go ahead and fill it out.
Yes, please.
Yeah, the bracket's going great. We've got a lot of responses so far, and a good mix of favorites and some upsets brewing. So. I have it set up. If you would like, we can kind of go through the form responses as they stand now. I don't want to sway the audience too much, but I kind of look at it like almost like a halftime report. Like we see the scores of the basketball games halfway through.
You're our Aaron Andrews down on the field at halftime. Not Michelle Tafoya. You're our Aaron Andrews. Okay, yeah. Let's and Osvetnik. I think I saw Osvetnik in chat said you had your wife vote as well, and then 8984M was so just torn up about the Star Trek stuff. He feels as though he ruined the entire bit.
Oh no, there's enough submissions here where your wild card answers aren't gonna sway too much. There are a few 50-50s, but I don't know if there was anything in the Star Trek that was a 50-50.
Yeah,
and now that we have a few more have trickled in, those might have even broken. So
okay, you're good. Okay,
so yeah, we're not gonna go through all of them. But I do want to go. I'll pull this up real quick and show my screen here. There we go. So the Star Wars region is all chalk, as the folks in Vegas say, and chalk means the favorites. So there's literally no upsets in the Star Wars region yet.
Okay.
So we're not going to really go to anything there.
I got the Lord of the Rings one up on my screen.
I got the Lord of the Rings here. That's where I'm going to start.
Okay, gotcha. I'll shut up. Steve, I'll shut the fuck up, okay?
Hey, it's your show, Ken. In the Lord of the Rings bracket here, though, we do have an upset first. The 11 over the 6 right now is trending. Over in that region. We also have the 13 over the 4, I thought was going. No, that's not in the Lord of the Rings bracket. That's in the Star Trek. Oh, the 10 over the 7 in the Lord of the Rings bracket. There we go.
So 2 upsets.
That's a close one. So
and those scenes are there's some good in this world. Frodo, 2 Towers over Boromir's death in the Fellowship of the Rings. It's close. It's still too close to call, but that's an upset in the making.
Yeah, still cool, and we're not 100% reporting from all districts yet. And then over in the 11 and the 6, we've got I Am No Man over for Frodo, and both in Return of the King.
That's a walk. That's going to be a walk for I Am No Man.
Yeah, it's trending. It's tough. That for Frodo is good. We've had a good amount of responses, so for Frodo's going to need a lot of help there. So
okay.
Yeah, that's how Lord of the Rings is looking. So as we go down, I think to Star Trek, we've got more upsets in the Star Trek region.
Okay.
The 12-5 is an interesting one. Someone snuck an other in there. I didn't know I had that on there. So
you had an other? I didn't see the other. How did they get another?
I don't know how that got in there, but we've got.
I'm looking at Vermont. I bet Vermont Mike did that. Vermont Mike, did you do that?
But we still got the 12 over the 5.
Okay.
And so that one's real close. And then in Star Trek as well, the 13-4 is also close. These might just be a tar. Oh, that just might be an extra thing. So I'll be able to fix that. So we're very close there. We're very close there, 50-50 there. And then in the 11-6, we also have a slight upset here. Ooh. There be whales here. That's a funny scene. I did.
That over the big battle in Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, look, this is why we do this. This is the upsets make good radio here. If you're just joining us and you're wondering what this is what we just launched on Thursday, the Blather bracket. We got 4 regions: Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, and Marvel. And Steve put together a wonderful list that you can go vote on now. We're going to take this all the way through Monday, and we're voting on our favorite scenes. This is our version of March Madness. This is wonderful. And Jen Miro's here. Can you bring back up the Star Trek stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure.
Our pal, author of many of these franchises, actually all but Lord of the Rings, Jen has written for. The upset, Jen, I need you to get this information to Thatcher. The Spock's Vulcan neck pinch on the punk, our buddy Kirk Thatcher from Star Trek 4, is in the upset position over the Enterprise Rises of the Titan. That's a big one. And Miro, if that ends up winning and moving on, I think we've got to find a way to have you, me, and Thatcher on this show to talk about that scene, because that's a fantastic. And I voted for the punk scene too, so that's a big one. That's a big one.
And this was the other big one in the Star Trek. Oh, it just scrolled back up. My bad. The 11-6 here in Star Trek was there be whales here over the Wrath of Khan battle.
Star Trek 4. I'm telling you, Star Trek 4. It's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
It's a crowd pleaser. It's like Return of the Jedi. You know, I love Return of the Jedi, but some people want to crap on it because they were in high school when the movie came out. It's a crowd pleaser. Star Trek 4. All right, we got confirmation. He'd totally do it. All we have to do is throw some rum up on the screen or something. No, I'm kidding. I want you all to meet Kirk Thatcher. He's one of the greatest humans on the planet. Okay, what's next? Where are we going? Star Wars is a chalk. It's all chalk. But
Star Wars is all chalk, so we're not even. There's not really anything to go over there.
Okay.
So we're gonna go down to the MCU, where we've got 3 upsets brewing here. And the 12-5, the elevator fight is beating the 5 years later time jump in Endgame.
Okay, makes sense. I think it was ranked correctly, but it makes sense there that be more. It's a populist vote.
Hey, and we've got one in Star Trek as well, but in every NCAA tournament, Ken, there is a 12 that beats a 5. That is just one of the weird mathematical gambling things that happens every year. So always take a 12 over a 5 in your bracket.
There you go, kids. Betting, bet responsibly, but producer Steve's got your bets. Okay. And that, wow, okay. That's the next one right there.
Here. Yeah, the 11 seed over the 6. I am Iron Man from Iron Man over the Thanos and Gamora getting the Soul Stone in Infinity War.
Okay.
And then the next we have is the 10 over the 7. We are Groot over Killmonger's death from Black Panther.
All right, I accept it. I voted for Killmonger, and that death is one of the greatest scenes in MCU. But that's why we play this. That's why we play it. That's why they play it on the field, Steve.
That's why I play the games. The seeding's there, but it's why I got to play the games. So we got a lot of upsets brewing. It's great. I was really worried that I made it too vanilla-y, but I'm glad, especially with the Star Trek ones, since that was a lot of those were shooting in the dark. Those seem to be going through. Star Wars, we'll get some upsets, folks. The first round is fun and games. It's cute. Hey, we're filling out the form. It's the second round, Ken. The second round is going to be a bloodbath.
So when we're doing the second round on Thursday, right?
We can do the second round Thursday. If you want to do it Monday, we can do it Monday. We can be ready whenever. I mean, I just need a day's notice basically to do it.
Okay, I think we'll look at Thursday. Monday we're going to close the polling on Monday. So yeah, I think Thursday would be good. We can build up some stuff for that. JMB voted for Killmonger as well.
Cool. So how about this? We'll close the voting during the show Monday, and we'll look at the results.
Love that.
We'll know the results Monday, and then Thursday we'll open the voting for the next round.
Okay, spectacular.
I like that. I'm telling you, the next round is going to be bonkers. I'm looking at the current bracket lineup right now, like how the matchups look. Man, like Star Wars is going to be tough, especially because all those favorites won. Like, there's going to be some hard decisions to make.
And I think too, what we should do is open up the phones on Thursday when we unveil the round of 32. And if you want to call in and just kind of quick calls, just kind of come in and state a case for an upset or something like that, we'll have some fun with that.
I love that. And there's some ideas brewing. Addie brought this up on the last show, and then someone might have mentioned it in Discord as well. I kind of like the idea of, as we get down to either the final 8 or I can't call it the final 4, the last 4. we got
the ultimate 4.
The ultimate. We can't call it the Fantastic 4 either, I don't think.
Yeah.
Addie and them had a good idea of, like, maybe we get someone. I don't think Jared's too in the bag for Star Trek because he helped with the tournament, but we get someone to represent each of the regions a little bit, like as to kind of be their champion to fight for them at the last.
This is a great idea. Wonderful broadcast possibilities there. I love that. Right. The flourishing for the ultimate welcome of it. Yeah, keep it cooking. All right, so that's
spell the bracket if you haven't, folks. Please do it. It's awesome.
Yeah. The link is in chat here. If you're watching later in the live, we can do that. Or Steve, you've been just dropping them in.
I'll put them in. Put them all everywhere.
So we'll do that. All right, good stuff. Do you have any thoughts? Anything else on your table?
That is my table, man. Thank you so much for all the space. We did a lot of cool stuff, and the bracket's going awesome. So thank you so much, Ken.
Good stuff. All right, Producer Steve, everybody. Producer Steve. That's what we do. This has been great. I'm excited for that ultimate four. 4 corners of debate. We'll just absolutely do it. This will be good. Almost out of here. But we I'm so hungry. I'm starting to get pre-heartburn for the food I'm probably going to eat. We will be back Monday and Thursday. Should be normal. Next week, I'll be out Saturday. I'll try to see if I can do a bonus show. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast feed, the Knapsack Network, and you can get my show, a Monday morning show. But also, if you subscribe or support here on YouTube as a channel member or on Patreon, you get that as well. And I got to put a Pump Rock Radio tonight. But the final thing is, I'm not done with this here. So Svetnik talked about what are your final meals if you're on death row. I think I added that maybe more than anything. He just kind of said final meals. I added I've thought about it because as a kid, I was terrified. I just thought at one point you all end up in court and jail. I just thought that was a part of life when I was like a kid. So Svetnik said he's got a 5-course meal, but he added just some dessert here. Well, one's a drink. Burnt end sandwiches, chicken tacos. I need to have specific restaurants there. I didn't write those down. A Croatian dish, sarma, I think he said. 6-ounce filet mignon. We got the Fitz's root beer and a lemon and raspberry. What was it? A cake? What was it? No. Gelato. Okay. So here's what I got so far. I'm missing 2 things here. I gotta figure this out. You know what? I'm afraid these are boring, but I absolutely stand by everything here. Because if I'm going out happy. And a lot of you are going to be like, oh, what about Del Taco? Extra Cheddar says some very nice words. Extra Cheddar checking in says, hey, Ken, just want to say that the Force Center Why We Love Star Wars midi-chlorian episode was spectacular. Thank you, Extra Cheddar. For those of you who are in the mood to help out a YouTube channel tonight, head over to Force Center tonight. You don't even have to listen to the episode. Give it a like. Just maybe play it in the background. The episode's underperforming, quite frankly. And, hey, that's on me, maybe with the thumbnail thing. But Scotty J. Rowe, ahead of his wonderful panel that he's going to have, it's more of a presentation in Tokyo for Star Wars Celebration Japan. His whole talk about midi-chlorians. We had a great conversation. Got deep. It got poignant. It was emotional. It's underperforming over on the YouTube channel. The podcast side always does well. But I don't know. Hey, if you could, help us over there. All right, so I think I've nailed this here. This is predictable and maybe boring, but here is my final 5-course plus a drink. I didn't include dessert. Number 1, little appetizer. Going to order from the smokehouse. Cheese toast, the garlic cheese toast, and the wedge salad. I could probably start there. In fact, I'm so hungry. I wish I could order from them tonight because that's what I need. Then I'm going to go to any Mexican restaurant worth its weight in chips and salsa. I'm going to order a chips and salsa, and then also just a quesadilla. Not even a chicken quesadilla or a beef, just a quesadilla. That's one of my favorite things. Could do 5 bowls of chips and salsa and the quesadilla. God, I'm really hungry. Third, I'm going to get a hearty orange chicken order with a side of fried rice. One of my favorite meals. I don't care. We usually get it when we order Thai food. I get it. But it can be any kind of orange chicken, except for like a Panda Express. I'm talking about, I want like a family cooking this with a family recipe, orange chicken. Then, what kind of fried rice is $8.98 for him? I just like a generic fried rice. I don't like pineapple. I much love pineapple on pizza. I don't like my pineapple and fried rice, and I don't like a lot of the nuts. Just regular fried rice. Maybe a pork fried rice. Then my number 4 4 course, I'm sending someone to McDonald's, ordering a number 7, the 2 cheeseburger meal with a large fry. I don't even need the Diet Coke. All right, let's get the Diet Coke. Couple little Diet Coke on my lips there. But going with that. And then 5, this is kind of my dessert. A Greek omelet with some sourdough toast, maybe hash browns. I don't know. Love omelets. That's kind of my, all right, that's a breakfast meal, but I'm having it now, and I'm ready to return to where I began. And then the beverage, just keep the rum and Cokes coming. I do, if I'm going to be walking down death row, I do want to be inebriated. I want to be laughing and joking as I'm going. So thank you, Svetnik. That's my meal. That's what we got going on. If you have one, if you're watching later on, hey, like this video. If you're listening on the podcast feed, if you're on Spotify, you can leave a comment. But hop on over to the YouTube page. Leave a comment about your final 5-course meal. I do want to know. Shout out to everyone who called in tonight. Shout out to all of you who support and have left super chats. I really do appreciate that. Really helps keep me and the channel going, quite frankly. So we'll do more soon enough. Be back Monday, and we are going to have a grand old time hanging out, talking Blather brackets. Special shout out to Brandon Hanna coming in tonight, talk about the renewable energy myths. Happy to have that. We'll be doing more of that as well. All right. Think I'm going to go to 7-Eleven. I think I'll get some taquitos. I'll probably regret it. I'll let you know Monday. See ya. Bye.